And we have successfully designed the register screen and the login screen. Now, in this lecture, we will add validation check to the test form fields. To do this, first, we will start with the register screen. Go to the register screen and use Ctrl and B in order to have a wider view. And first, in order to add validation check to test form field, we have to create a form key. Now, the reason for this form key is to help us know the current situation of the form. That is, if the form is valid or not. And we will create this form key over here. And first, we have to get rid of this constructor. The reason for this constructor is basically to pass in data from one screen to another. For example, we can pass in data from the register screen to the login screen. And since currently we are not passing any data, we can go ahead and get rid of this. And this over here is known as constructor. And we want to create the form key. First, we have to say finer, and then we have to specify the behavior of the form key. And we can say it will be of type global key, and also it will be of type form state because we also want to know the current situation of the form. And we can call this underscore form key. The reason for this underscore is to make this variable private, meaning we won't be able to refer to this variable outside the register screen class. And then it will be equal to global key and form state and add your semicolon. And what we need to do next is to bind this variable to the test form fields. And to easily do this, we have to wrap this column, the parent column, with a widget known as form. Now within the form widget, there is a property known as key. And then we can say form key. Okay, form key. Great. Now scroll down. Within the test form field, there is a property known as validator. We are currently in the uh, email test field, and the within the validator there is this parenthesis, and within the parenthesis it will take in the actual input of the user. And what we can do is we can then check. We can say if the value dot is empty, meaning the user did not fill in anything. Just like this, it is empty, right? And if it is empty, then, sorry, add this over here. Then we want to return a test, which will say enter your email. Okay, now scroll down, sorry, else. Then we want to allow the user to go. That is if the form is filled in. Now scroll down and let's do same for the full name. And within the test form field, there is a property known as validator. And within the parentheses of the validator, it will take in something known as value. And then we can have a check. We can say if value dot is empty, if it is empty, meaning the user has refused to fill the form. Sorry, what am I doing? Okay. Then we want to return this. Enter your full name. That's all this, and else we want to return nor. Okay, great. And we have to do this for each and every test form field we have. And the last test form field is for the password. And validator And within the parentheses, we take in the value, and then we can have a check. We can say if value value dot is empty. Sorry, I think my spelling was wrong. Value, and if value dot is empty, dot is empty, over here add this check. Then we want to return, enter your password. Password, else if it is not empty, if it is filled in, then we want to allow the user to go by returning null. Okay, great. And what we want to do next is if we click on this button, we want to be able to know if the form is valid or not. And remember, we had earlier created a variable called underscore form key. And the major purpose of this form key variable is to have access to the current situation of the form, that is the current state of the form. Now scroll down. Over here we have this button, right? So what we have to do is to make it clickable. Highlight and use Ctrl and dot and wrap this with an inkwell. And within the inkwell, there is a property known as on top. And on top on this, we want to have a check. We can then call the variable we had earlier created, that is the form key. And we can then say underscore form key, then dot current state to have access to the current state of the form. And then we can say if it is validated, then for now we want to print correct, correct. Else, if it is not validated, then we want to print barred or failed. Okay, great, great. Now currently the form is not validated because the fields are not filled in. Okay, so we can go ahead and click on this. Sorry. Uh, okay, now we can go ahead and click. Okay, great. Now you can see the form is not validated and we should see failed in the debug console. Okay, you can see over here failed. And let's go ahead and fill the form and I will add a value to it. Okay, now we have this overflow error. To get rid of this overflow error, we simply need to make this screen scrollable. To make it scrollable, scroll up and over here we have this form widget. Now click on Ctrl and dot and wrap with widget, and the widget we want to wrap it with is a widget known as single child scroll view. And what this will do is it will make our screen scrollable. Okay, waiting for this performing out reloading. And okay, great. Now click on it. Okay, you can see it is now scrollable. And I can add this, and if I click on sign up now, okay, you can see now just two fields. And if I click on sign up now, okay, and great. And we should have correct in the debug console. But of course, in the future, we should be able to use the data that was provided to create the user account. And you can see we have correct over here. Okay.